It's the Dear Auntie Podcast with your favorite aunties, Carm and Co.
Talk to me. What's going on with you?
You need advice, and they've got the answers. Auntie gon' keep it real.
Hey, auntie. Hey, auntie. Hey, auntie.
You're tuned in to the Dear Auntie Podcast. We are your favorite aunties. I'm Co.
And I'm Carm.
And we are here to give you some real life advice based on some real-ish that we done been through, but we are not experts.
Not at all.
We are not therapists. And we like to give that disclaimer just so y'all
Upfront.
know what you're doing here. But I do have like a little word of encouragement that I just thought was so good. I found this on Instagram and I wanted to share it with our nieces. So I used to believe being quiet kept the peace until I realized whose peace it was keeping. Now, Auntie Carm, we done been through some things, so that I think might hit us a little differently than it might hit our little young nieces out there. But for those of y'all who are like, okay, Auntie, that wasn't really deep, let me just tell you that
Break it down for
falling into the trap of being a people pleaser, which we've had this conversation so many times, being a people pleaser, having boundaries, not having boundaries, all of the things.
And you're recovering.
And I am recovering. I'm still actively in recovery mode. But it really eats you up inside when you hold on to so many things thinking that you're doing somebody else a disservice, like literally causing ailments, illnesses, diseases
So
in
you're
your
stressing
own body,
yourself out.
trying to save somebody else some peace. Like you don't want them to be stressed out, so you're gonna stress yourself out. And this, I think, is like a woman thing. Like this is just something we seem to do. We take on,
Other people's shit.
And we're quiet about it, thinking that, it's going to maintain the peace. And it is, but their peace, you're going to be eaten up on the inside.
And then you're going to be resentful, and then you're going to be mad, and then 3 years later you're going to explode, and they're going to be like, where the hell did that come from? And
Now
you'll be
you're the
like, well,
crazy
back
person.
in 2010
Yeah.
when you had...
Then you got to pull out the diary, and then you look crazy. So let me tell you somebody who looked crazy. Let's just go ahead and get into it.
Uh-oh.
Somebody who was keeping quiet, trying to keep the peace. Young nieces, if y'all are not familiar with the Real Housewives of Potomac, check it out.
My favorite
okay?
franchise.
The favorite franchise.
Yes.
Mia Thornton. Bigfoot Mia, I think they call her. And Mia, I wear a size 10,
No,
so
that
I
ain't
can call you
right.
Bigfoot Mia because I'm Bigfoot Co.
That ain't right.
Hey, girl. We have to stick together. But anyway, so her poor husband, Mia ain't right though. Let me tell you what she did. Her poor husband is on these internet streets crying his eyes out, y'all. It's actually kind of sad. I'm kind of saying it in a lighthearted way, but it's pretty sad.
Oh, no.
Apparently, he was trying to keep the peace. He was trying to keep quiet. He was going along to get along, and they not getting along any longer.
So what did she do to him?
So apparently, he had agreed that they could have an open relationship, an open marriage.
Right.
Mia and what's her husband's name? G.
G. Good
Mia and
OG.
G are married. Mia is much younger. G is much older. I think she's hinted at the fact that he might have like erectile dysfunction.
He's
and things.
elderly.
He's a little seasoned, right?
Yeah.
So apparently he has agreed. He loves this woman so much that he said, look, sis, I understand that I can't do all of the pleasing the way
Do
that
what you
I
gotta
used to
do.
be able to put it down. So you can go get you a little side piece. I think y'all call it a little sneaky link or something.
Is
you
that
can
what
have
they
a sneaky
say?
link. That's what they say. So you
Okay.
can have that as long as you don't tell anybody, don't embarrass me. He did the Jay-Z, like, don't embarrass me.
Yeah, keep it inside the house.
And apparently she embarrassed him, and she put it outside in the streets.
Now, why would she do that?
Now, why would she do that? To the point that he had to come to the internet and tell
And
about
cry?
it. And cry.
That's sad. Mia is an interesting character. Watching the show, she was definitely one of those that I was kind of like, I wasn't really feeling, because she just seemed to have like a little bit of a mean girl spirit. So I hate to hear that she has OG in the streets crying.
pretty sad.
On the Instagram streets? Was it on Instagram?
On the Instagram, it was like a TMZ video. So I don't know if he did like a TMZ interview where he was talking about it.
So he
Yeah.
really wanted the message out.
Yeah, he really.
If you talk to
It's
TMZ.
like you don't even mind embarrassing yourself at this point. It's very sad. So, but I think the bully, the mean girl-ish is apparently in her marriage as well. The same way that she was treating those ladies and her best friend. Remember? Girl, that's a whole episode.
Now that was cringy.
Right?
That was cringeworthy.
Her best friend of a lifetime.
Yeah, she dragged that girl like she ain't even know her. All
Like
for
a
a slot
stranger in
on
the streets.
real what is it? Potomac.
Real
Yeah.
Housewives, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sad out here, y'all. So the moral of the story is don't go alone to get along. Don't ever agree to do something that is not what you truly want to do, because obviously he agreed to this open relationship and it did not work out.
And he regretted
and now
it.
he
It
now he
backfired.
is embarrassed.
Yeah, I agree with that quote. That's a good quote.
Thanks.
Thanks for that. So I want to make a confession
Ooh, Auntie
right
has a
here,
confession.
right now. I have officially moved into the phase of wearing a muumuu.
What is a muumuu, Auntie Carmen?
So I went to Ross last week and I was just shopping around, doing a little shopping. And I came across this piece that I was very drawn to.
Okay.
And the reason I was drawn to it was because it looks so comfortable. And it had like an African goddess on the front. And I was like, you know what? I could wear this around the house while I'm cooking and cleaning and washing dishes and things of that nature. So do we have the picture of me in the muumuu? There I am.
There's that muumuu.
I'm right there at home. I'm about to go downstairs and cook some dinner. And this is like the most comfortable thing that I've ever worn in my life. So I am officially
Is that
Auntie
vibes?
Muumuu.
Auntie Muumuu. Listen, I've been a muumuu wearer for
Really?
years and years and years.
Am I late to the
You're
party?
late to the party. That's literally the most comfortable thing you can put on your body.
Yeah.
It is like giving grandma house vibes.
I mean,
housecoat
I
vibes.
loved it so much. And I'm going to have to go get 2-3
You
more
loved it
of
so
them.
much that you needed to share. And you picked it up at Ross, which is Auntie Central.
For less.
Yeah.
It was $9.99.
Dress for less.
There you go.
Come on,
So
$9.99.
I just wanted to confess.
Ain't no shame in our game, okay? There is no confession needed for that because, listen, we are all about the comfort over here, but we know that
Yes.
Auntie Carm is sliding around the house in her fluffy slippers.
Yeah,
and
sometimes I do with my silk
all of the
pajamas and
things.
things when I want to be impressive.
I love
But
it.
generally, I'm not feeling
Come
that
on,
impressive
impressive.
around the house.
Let's get into some unimpressive tea.
Okay.
So a couple of episodes ago, y'all, I got in my feelings a little bit. When I go back and watch the episode sometimes, I'll be like,
What
you need
happened?
to relax a little bit. So we did an episode, Auntie Back Outside, okay, and we were talking to Delisha.
Right.
Did I say her name? Every time I say it, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. And I don't want to.
Delisha.
Delisha. See, I
Yeah.
knew it. Okay.
Mhm.
We had an episode, Auntie Back Outside. Go listen if you haven't already.
Yes.
And she mentioned that one of her friends was had a white husband, I think.
Correct.
You know, and I jumped through the microphone.
You had to get up in there.
To throw in the hat the fact that, she was bigging up the white man. And I just felt like
Personally attacked.
this is my opportunity to big up the black man, right?
Okay.
So I had to insert myself. However, I was on social media and I saw a clip that came up that reminded me of the conversation that we had
Yeah.
because and I don't want to say I have a problem with interracial dating because you can do whatever you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk about my preferences, my choices, things
Right.
like that, but I'm not judging you and your white man, whatever y'all want to do. But the problem that I
Why you say it
have
like that?
in the conversation is when it is presented like the white man will save you. You need to get away from those abusive black men and come on over to the white man that's going to appreciate
Yes.
you. I don't like that
The
tone.
white savior.
The white savior. I don't like that tone. And that is where I felt like the conversation was going when she mentioned the white husband, like giving the mom a break. I'm
Yeah.
like, black men give breaks too.
Yeah,
But anyway,
for sure.
so a clip came up on social media. And it's a talk show. And the talk show host said, one of the talk show hosts, Vivica Fox, I don't know the other girl's name. I'm sorry, homegirl.
Uh-oh.
But Vivica Fox says, y'all are going to go watch it. Y'all
Is
see
this
who
on
I'm
like
talking about.
Fox 5
It's
or
on
something?
Fox something.
Soul. Okay.
Fox Soul, the Black Fox,
Mhm,
yes.
yeah.
So Vivica says, at this age and this season, I'm open.
Uh-huh.
I would love a black man, but I'm willing to explore.
Okay.
And then homegirl, which maybe her name is Chanel, don't quote me on that, but she says, I've dated, I had a white boo one time,
Yeah.
and he just had to he ended up telling me that he could never take me home. And I felt like,
Awkward.
we don't often hear that perspective. I don't usually hear from the black women who have dated
Right.
long laundry lists of non-black men. I never hear those stories from them. I only hear the white savior stories. So I want to hear more of these white trash stories.
So you
Let's bring up the stories of the other people mistreating black women so that it's fair.
So
let's
you're-
talk about both sides.
So you're actively seeking
White trash.
tragedy stories.
Yes, white trash tragedy stories.
Interracial tragedy stories.
If the white man has dogged you right
Write us.
into the show, let us know because let's balance this conversation.
Right in.
That's all I want to do.
But no, I agree 100%. I think a man is a man is a man. And I
man.
think we have unique issues and experiences within the black community. But me personally, I'm always going to date black.
That part.
That's just what I prefer. That's what I like, and I don't want to run into no issues like that.
Like that? How? Because what if you've been dating 6 months, or like you've started it to get?
And what was
going to
happen if he did take her home? What was going to happen? I would like to know more. Like, was she going to arrive? Were they going to all have white hoods on when she got there?
Was it going to be get out? And
were
she
they
was never
going to have
leave?
Confederate flag waving and like some sort of like mammy?
Granny was going to cut a fool if they would have pulled.
They was gonna have maple syrup sitting on the counter so that so that she knew her place. What was gonna happen? So that's scary.
I would personally not want to find out.
Yeah,
and those are the things that are always in the back of my head. Is
red
like,
flag.
You might be cool with me, but what your grandmama think?
Yeah, so I don't want to get involved in that.
I know what
sis.
my grandmama thought.
Yeah, interesting.
Speaking of grandmoms, let me tell y'all who needs a grandmother in her life. She needs more than an auntie. Young Miami. Sis.
Dang, we back on her again?
We got to come back to Young Miami because let me tell you what whole girl is doing now.
She's stressing me out.
I think we're going to have a video play somewhere,
Do we
right?
have video?
So y'all watch the video.
We fancy.
We're fancy. We're going to assume that you're back from watching the video, okay? Let me tell y'all. I'm going to narrate what happens.
Okay, tell me.
So Young Miami is throwing a birthday party for her 3-year-old daughter, Summer Miami.
Okay, Summer in Miami.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. For her 3-year-old daughter, Summer Miami. And at the party, Young Miami is twerking. She's hitting the splits. They're having like dance battles with, the city girl dance battles at the baby's birthday. Oh. And so I just want to know from you, Auntie Carm, because I know that I'm a little bit of a prude. I know that I am. But are there rules to these things? Because we've talked before about like the thongs at the amusement parks, like the water parks with the kids. I think that it's inappropriate. This is obviously her child. So I'm sure that she wasn't doing anything that her child has not seen her do.
Here's the thing. I feel like as Black people, everybody's child is our child. And I feel like the welfare of Black children is always our business. And you asked me the question, I feel like you already know what my answer is about to be, which is twerking does not have a place at a 3-year-old's birthday party. Why must we twerk everywhere that we go? Is that a personality trait or something? Do people think that that's like a personality trait, that they shake people's hands, they introduce themselves, and they drop down into the split?
Shake a hand, shake that ass. Yes.
And especially at a 3-year-old's birthday party, whatever happened to Barney? Whatever happened to like clowns? Whatever happened to Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse?
Girl, they be coming to the party twerking too.
I'm sick of it. Enough. Please, everybody, let's just have some balloons, some cake, and a few stuffed animals and go home.
Take it back to the old school.
Like, let's take it back to the old school. I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I
Stop
think it's
exposing your
inappropriate.
children to stuff like that.
And exposing your children to overly sexual things is only going to overly sexualize your child. So we cannot do these things when they are 2, 3, 4, 5, and then complain when they're 13, 14, 15, when they turn around and do the same thing. So Young Miami, if you end up being a young granny.
And it's not just Young Miami.
It's not, but she is she's an example. Let me not.
She has a
but
platform.
She has a spotlight, right? People are watching her.
And there's people like her all over the place that do this all the time. So I'm a little scared. Scared.
Let's stop. Okay, last question from me, from these social media streets. Shade Room post.
Okay.
Says, don't accept a vacation from a man pursuing you if you don't plan to have sex with him. What are your thoughts? So don't get flued out.
Well, first of all, I unfollowed Shade Room last year because I think they're extremely toxic, and I think that they are detrimental to the Black community with the kind of content that they share.
Okay.
And I feel like the comments are very toxic and nasty. However, if I have to answer this question, should you get flued out and not have sex with someone? I'm going to say I think you have a right to do that. However, I think in this day and age, I think you have to be well aware that the man might be expecting something in exchange for whatever it is that he did for you. Not to say it's right, but I'm going to say go prepared for whatever might occur.
Go prepared for whatever might
Not
occur.
whatever might occur. You know, I'm not talking about nothing crazy, but I'm talking about he may try to like sleep with you. And
And that should be, you should expect that. So should
Yeah.
you expect that he has that expectation?
I 100%, that would be my only thought.
Okay, so
I'd be like,
that's
he
it.
wants something. If a man is flying me out and we've only been talking for like a month, 2-3 months, and he's like paying for a trip and no expense, you know, I don't have to pay any expenses, I'm going to be like, wow, he wants something in exchange for this. That's just how
And
I
I'm
think.
going to move accordingly.
Yeah, and
right.
I'm gonna
not
move
gonna.
accordingly.
I'm not gonna show up and pretend like I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to tell everybody I know where I'm at.
So let me tell y'all my flued out story.
Uh-oh, not you got a flued
Because
out story.
Auntie don't want to be a hypocrite, okay?
Okay.
Auntie does not want to be a hypocrite, and my husband knows my flued out story, okay? So let me just put that disclaimer out there. I made the mistake, and this actually happened twice, okay? I'm not going to lie to y'all.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie to y'all.
Such a trusting
I
Libra.
made the mistake of, I don't want to say I was naive, but maybe I was a little naive
Just a little
in
bit.
thinking that these guys just want to hang out. We're just going to have a fun time.
Because I'm just that fun.
Because I have always, let me also say this about myself. I have always been the homegirl.
Okay.
That is just who I am, right?
Okay.
That's just who I am. I've always had very close relationships with men
Okay.
my entire life. So I get homie, even my husband, like when we first started dating, we were very much so kicking it.
Homie lover friend.
Homie lover friends, we still are.
Okay.
So I get that vibes with guys and naively thinking that they are getting those vibes with me. So
Okay,
the
okay.
first time this happened, I actually got stranded. And this was before, let me look at y'all, because Carmen is judging me over here, y'all. Listen, this was before Uber. This was like I had to call a taxi. So y'all, I met a guy, I was out of town, met a guy out. We ended up talking for however long. He lived somewhere else, I lived somewhere else. You know,
Oh
he
my
was like, well,
God.
come see me. So I go see him. We had no conversations about having sex.
Uh-huh.
We had no sexy
So
conversations.
there was like no sex
There-
conversations leading up to
There
this.
were no, hey, what you gonna wear? Make sure you bring. There was none of that. It was
Okay.
literally like,
So-
hey, it was good meeting you. Let's hang out. You know, we had
Okay.
met. Anyway, there were none of those sexy conversations.
Where did
which
y'all
I
fly?
feel like where did we fly?
Like, or where did you meet him?
I met him in New York. He lived in
Okay.
North Carolina. I lived in Atlanta, and so
Okay.
that we met back up in North Carolina.
Okay.
Long story short, y'all, we didn't have sex, right? We didn't have sex. I wake up in the morning, okay? I wake up in the morning, and he said he had to go do something. Do something. I don't remember what it was. But y'all, this man never came back.
Say what?
He never came back. So I was flying out. This was literally like a 2-day trip, right? I was flying out that same day. This man never came back. I did not have a ride to the airport. Now, luckily, I wasn't dumb enough to leave town with no
Wow.
money. Okay, but again, this was pre-Uber. So this wasn't just like a convenient pick up my phone. Oh, I can get myself a ride. This was really like, I was sitting here looking at the clock like, okay,
So he gave you like,
he said he was going to come back at 10.
so he gave you like a little over 24 hours to give up
to give
the
up
cooch.
the cooch before he cut loose on my ass. Yeah, he
Wow.
left me. So that was one story. Okay, let me tell y'all an even crazier story.
Well, that's why the aunties always say, make sure you always leave the house with
some money, especially leaving town.
In your pocket.
Do not leave town with no money in your pocket.
Please.
Learn from auntie, okay?
Okay.
So if that wasn't bad enough, let me tell you how crazier it gets. Now, this next time, it was a true homie. It was literally someone who I had just been
Okay.
cool with. We had been hanging out in groups. And he was in Miami, invited me to come down to
Okay.
Miami. In my mind, I love Miami. You ain't got to tell me
Yeah.
twice. Here I come.
Let's go.
Again, never any sexy conversations, never any, well, we gonna do this. None of those things. I've had those conversations, and this was not that.
Okay.
So I get there. We hanging out. Now, he is a pop the bottle, get the section type of homie, right? All of the fun. Y'all know, all of the
My
fun.
type of party.
So, after the party, we get back to the room, and he like, yo, what's up? And I'm like,
What's up? Hey, how
what's
you
up?
doing?
Hey, you know? And so I made it very clear that nothing was up, right?
Yeah.
I'm not having sex. Y'all tell me what this man did. What was his next move? Are y'all gonna guess?
I'm a little scared.
Put the camera on Carmen so she can guess. What do you think he did next, Carmen?
Did he
Come back to me, Tavo. Let me tell y'all.
Okay,
Let me tell
I'm
y'all what he
like,
did.
what? I don't know.
This man called up another woman and had sex with her in the living room of our suite.
Corio.
Of our suite. Yeah. Yeah.
L'Oreal.
This is actual,
L'Oreal.
factual, my actual
ma'am.
life. I cannot
ma'am.
make this
No,
up.
ma'am. I would have
I
went
can't
to
make it up.
jail that
I can't make it up. Why? I didn't care.
Yeah,
Girl,
but
I was so relieved.
disrespect though.
Why? I don't
It's
care. This is not my
disrespectful.
man. I don't feel disrespected. You know who should have felt
Y'all black
disrespected?
asses out of here.
That lady. That lady who had sex with a man on a couch in a
Hi,
hotel
lady.
suite.
Where are you, lady?
That lady
If
should
you're
have felt
listening.
disrespected. I felt relieved.
Yeah, I mean that. Yes, you were definitely.
Because he could have.
You got
that could
off.
have been a bad situation.
Yeah, you got off.
Bad situation.
However, very awkward, very weird, very
Very awkward,
strange,
very weird.
very strange.
And I
man.
got up the next day and was like, "Hey, what we doing today?
And-
What's up?
and what
Let's go
y'all-
to the beach."
And did y'all go to the beach?
I don't remember what happened. I
Oh,
honestly
okay.
don't remember. But I did not have any hard feelings. I felt like,
Oh.
wow.
You
Shout
better
out
than
to
me.
you, homegirl. Yeah.
You
'Cause
better than me.
You didn't even ask any questions. You didn't even say, "Hey, can I go into that bedroom?" You didn't even say, "Hey, is there a bed here? Let's have sex there." No, no sex.
Well,
So,
he knew who to call.
Moral of the story, exactly. Moral of the
Ghostbusters.
story: if you get flued out, be better than Auntie Cole. Don't be no fool. If you get flued out, don't be no fool. Like me, I was a fool. If you,
Ooh, if you get flown out, you get your back blown out.
There
you
it
heard it
is.
here first
There
from
it is.
Ty Bo in here in the studio.
look, we can drop the mic on that. Take from those stories what y'all will.
My God.
Okay. Yeah. Let's move on, Carmen.
Let us. So Auntie would never.
She would never.
Auntie would never. So here's mine. Because I've been very disturbed by a lot of photos that have been circulating on the internet recently of women proposing to men.
Ooh.
So Auntie would never, ever, 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 ever propose to a man, particularly while I'm pregnant.
Oh
Can
my
we show the
gosh.
photo? We have a photo here. But
Not her holding the baby and the ring.
I'm very disturbed by this, nieces. Nieces, we gotta do better. Let me tell you something that I know about a man. A man is going to get what he wants when he wants it. Okay? He's gonna go after what he wants. All right? So
He don't want you.
This
is what
isn't
Carmen
even
is
on.
saying.
This ain't even on no gender roles, patriarch. It's not on any of that. I'm simply stating that the nature of men is to go after what they want. And if you chase after them, there's a possibility that they didn't want you in the first place. And then that marriage is going to be doomed moving forward. So don't get up off your knees.
Get up
Get up off your knees.
with that ring in your finger. Please do.
Well, yeah. Just
Please do.
if you want to be on
get
your
back
knees.
down and keep them. But listen,
Any
to
other
get them,
time.
no, we are not getting down on our knees to propose marriage.
We are
Please
not.
Stop.
We're not, especially not with child in belly.
And I think that the proposing is obviously like outrageous, but so many women on a daily basis are getting into relationships and forcing relationships and giving ultimatums and doing
We got to stop that.
so many forceful things in these relationships, and then a decade later they wonder why it didn't work out.
We're
Because
trying to
these
go
men
against
have showed
the
you
flow of
they
nature.
Yeah, you did not get chosen.
So Auntie would never, y'all.
Auntie would never. Ooh,
Let's
okay.
do better.
Let me tell y'all what I would never do again.
Okay.
Because I've been doing, well, no, I don't think I've ever done this. I've tried on a swimsuit. Have you tried on a swimsuit or lingerie at a store before, Carmen?
I have never tried on lingerie. Definitely maybe a swimsuit.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like I can't say
Don't
a hell no to
remember.
swimsuit. I can say hell no to lingerie for
Yeah.
sure.
Not
But
going
if
up my crack.
y'all are out here trying on lingerie at the stores, let me tell y'all why you should say hell no too. So Angela Yee, shout out to Angela Yee. Come on down to the
Hey,
show,
girl.
Auntie Ange. On her radio show, she does these like anonymous call-ins where people call and share all of their business.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've heard.
So a woman called in and admitted to trying on the lingerie in the store that she works at after hours when she gets off of work. Trying it on, buying it, you ask? No. Trying it on and then hanging it back up for Auntie Carmen Cole to come along and purchase it and put our asses in it. So Auntie Cole would never again.
So she
Try on
just
any
like
intimates.
so the store closes. She closes out the cash register. She
She
dims
hangs
she
something
dims
over the
the
security
light.
camera. Yeah.
Maybe lights a candle
And goes in.
and tries on every piece of lingerie in there.
Catches a vibe.
puts all her juices in the crotch
and berries, yes.
and hangs it back up for the next day to open at 10 a.m.
And say, oh, I got a style over here you might like. It'll look good on you, girl.
And you be walking through there like, who was a little whiff or something? I caught a little whiff or something. What is that?
That's what it is. If you caught a whiff, it is homegirl, okay? Okay, listen, don't do it. So nieces,
Oh my
learn from the
God.
nastiness. Don't
Yeah,
do it.
wait,
That's
what's the
extra
lesson?
nasty. The lesson is don't try on any intimates.
Okay,
Get
got
out of
it.
here with that. So auntie would never.
Scram.
If I was ever going to do it, I
Don't
would
do
never.
it.
Don't do it. No.
Got it.
So in the theme of today's conversation, let's get into some Never Ever Have I Ever, which is
I'm
a
excited.
classic auntie game. So young nieces, y'all might not know about the drinking games from back in the day because all y'all do is social media stuff these days. But back in the day, we used to play games and stuff in real life, and it did not require phones or technology or anything. And so what we would do is we would say a phrase, something,
Yeah.
an experience, and then if you've done it, you would take a drink. We don't have any drinks.
We don't.
So
Damn.
we're just gonna talk about it. We're not really
We
playing.
dropped the ball there.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. So
You ready?
yep, never ever have I ever. We could raise a hand
Okay.
if you have done it.
Okay.
Right?
A finger.
That's how you do it. If you have done
Oh,
it.
you start with 5. You start with 5 fingers, and then if you did it, you put 1 down.
Okay. All right. Never ever have I ever done something illegal.
How illegal we talking?
It's just against the law.
Okay.
She tried to get a pass.
Fine.
You will not. Okay. Gotten arrested. Carmen!
I sat in the back of a cop car.
That's a finger. Put the pinky
Is that-
down. That's at least the pinky
Okay.
for sure.
What do you know?
Had sex on a beach.
First of all, I don't understand the logistics
how
behind
that
that.
works.
Like, how does that? That doesn't feel sexy to me. So
Not
it's going to be a
interested.
no.
Okay. Snuck out of the house in your younger days.
Actually, could never sneak out of the house because my house was like Fort Knox.
Okay.
Alarm systems. I lived in the middle of the country. I couldn't go nowhere anyway. So it's a no for me.
Okay. I snuck out of high
You
school.
did?
My friend's house. My mama wasn't playing that, but
Oh,
her mama was playing. Pretended to be sick to get out of something.
Absolutely. I prepare my cough ahead of time so I could just make it sound really believable.
If you ever do that cough, Carmen, I'm gonna know. Okay. Cheated in a relationship.
I have.
Follow-up question. Did you cheat or cheat back?
I cheated. Straight up cheated. Yeah, I straight up cheated.
Not straight up cheated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Another episode.
I regret it.
Okay. You do regret it.
Yeah, it's not nice.
Okay.
You shouldn't cheat.
Gotten back with an ex.
Gotten back as in went back with them or
Yeah, went back.
Rounded the
y'all
block.
got back together. No, not had sex.
okay.
Got-
So
like y'all was back together. So no. All right. Well, I'm the better auntie, guys. As y'all
Clearly,
can see, Auntie Co is a little lame.
have more integrity than me.
Yeah, I'm a little lame. Wait, what did you do that I didn't do? I don't know. We'll have to circle back. In the same vein, what is something you feel like you're too old for now?
Definitely going out past 9 p.m. Like, I'm not going anywhere past 9 p.m.
Like,
Don't
you can't
invite
leave your
me.
house after 9.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be tucked in my bed. When people send me invites like, hey, meet me at 9:30. And I'm like, 9:30? Absolutely not. I'll send you a card. You will not have my presence there at whatever event that you are having.
At 9:30.
At 9:30 p.m.
That's where you
That's
draw the line.
ridiculous.
That's
You're
ridiculous.
crossing my boundaries
Wow.
at that point.
I would
What about
definitely
you?
say 10. I would say 10.
10?
Yeah, 10.
No, because
What if it's like a comedy show or something, a concert, something that's like later?
I'm going to be asleep. I'm going to be asleep at the comedy show.
So there are no special, like
No, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do anything after 9 p.m. I am a day party girl, happy hour girl,
Brunch, okay.
brunch girl. That's it. Leave me out of it.
Don't invite Carmen.
No.
Okay. Well,
Renaissance tour. Wait a minute. I absolutely will be there at the Renaissance tour.
Thank
and
you.
I will do
Was
it
it
again
after 9 p.m.?
and again.
Were you awake?
And again.
Thank you, Tabo, because she was awake with
She
her
had to
silver
call me
on.
out.
Yeah, call her out. So you can invite me out after 10 p.m. But
Thank you.
One thing I'm over is the high heels, and I've been over them my
Are
whole life.
you?
I've never,
You-
girl.
you don't
no,
like 'em?
No, I don't want my feet hurt. I don't get it.
I love me a
like
high
women
heel.
who wear heels to the mall and the airport
No, I
and
ain't
the
doing all
grocery
that
store.
now.
How do your feet?
I have a
survive?
friend like that. She wears heels
How does she do it?
everywhere, no matter what.
What are the logistics?
Cookouts and every place
she
that
short?
she go. No, but she does it. I don't know how she does it, but me,
You never asked her.
I no. I love heels. I really, really love heels, but I will not be wearing them everywhere I go.
Girl, I don't
So I
even
feel
love them.
you.
I'm not kitten. I'm not a kitten yet.
I'm definitely.
I'm probably never.
I don't
gonna
think
be a
I'm ever
kitten,
going to be a kitten.
but wedge me, bitch.
I love
okay.
me a witch.
What are we talking about today, Carm?
I don't know. Let's see what's on these here cards because I got discombobulated here. Okay. Oh, here we are. Our main topic of the day: lessons in our 20s. So tell me, I mean,
I'm far removed from my 20s.
you're not that far removed from your 20s.
Almost a decade out, but so many lessons learned. My 20s were great. So yeah, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Tell me about your 20s. Tell me about some of your most notable lessons.
Ooh, well, okay.
20s was a rough
We graduated college. We got into our career, purchased our first property, got engaged, got unengaged.
Okay.
Quit my job.
You did a whole lot.
Started businesses, multiple businesses in my 20s. Yeah.
Damn.
I did a lot.
That's impressive.
I learned so many lessons. A lot of lessons
really
that we're going to
impressive.
share. What about you?
I got drunk. I'm just being honest. I mean, I didn't buy any properties in my 20s. I didn't get engaged. I didn't do any of the
You had a fun
responsible
time?
adult things
had
that
a fun
Auntie
time.
Co has done in her 20s. But it was a great time. It was also very traumatic. But, you know, I wouldn't
What
change
was
a thing.
traumatic?
I mean, my 20s just sucked. Like,
Really?
it was just like, suck might be harsh.
Okay.
But it was just lesson after lesson after lesson because I'm one of those people that sometimes don't learn my lesson right, you know, the first time. So I go back and do it again. So anyway, but
Okay.
you live and you learn. That's why we have lessons for you here
That part,
today.
learn from our mistakes,
Learn
please.
from us, please.
Okay, so what you got for him, Auntie Carm?
All right. So the first thing I want to share with our nieces and nephews out there is to watch what you post on social media. I know I say this all the time, but I'm so sincere about this. When I was in my 20s, I got a job fresh out of college, I believe, a little after college, at working at the bank. At this time, Twitter was very popular. So everybody was on Twitter. Instagram wasn't really taking over like that at the time. And so I had gotten this new job, and my boss was this older Black man who had like a bald spot just at the very top of his head. Nice guy.
Is the bald spot relevant to the story?
is.
Okay,
It
we're
is.
gonna come back.
And so me being the person that really hadn't had a corporate job before, I didn't know like the ins and outs of like protocols of what you're supposed to do on the job, right? And so he invited me out for lunch. I guess like my first week working there, I guess that was like the nice thing to do, etiquette or something, you know? And so I tweeted one day, mind you, we weren't supposed to have our phones anyway. I tweeted, my boss wants to take me out to lunch. That's pretty weird with that bald spot he got. And I was just like, tweet. Send.
Twitter fingers.
Tweet. And like 2 days later, he called me into his office. He was like, we have to have a talk. And I was like, okay. He's like, and he puts me on speakerphone. And so the executives from the bank are on the speakerphone. And they're like, ma'am, what is this tweet about? And I'm like, what tweet? They're like, and they read my tweet out loud to me. So it was like the most
This tweet.
heart-wrenching. Yeah, he's like, this tweet where you're talking about the bald man at your job. And I'm like, why you got your phone anyway, heifer? And so they read my tweet out loud and they're like, and by the way, you're fired. And leave us all of your stuff at your desk. You're locked out of all your shit. Have a nice day. So this was like the worst day of my life because I had just gotten this job. So my black ass is sitting outside on a bench in front of the bank, just hopeless. And I'm just like, wow, this sucks. So I think I ended up having to go home to Virginia after that. And I couldn't tell my mom what happened. She doesn't even know to this day why I got fired. I had to make up a lie because it was so dumb. So anyway, I say all that to say, please stop putting all your business on social media. You never know who's going to see it, and it could ruin your life. I don't appreciate all of this, the fact that you have tears running down your face, because that was very traumatic for me.
Girl, I almost ran around this room. What?
So anyway, learn from Auntie Carm.
Girl,
All right?
I knew what was coming the moment you said the bald head mattered. Wow.
It was bad. All right.
That is embarrassing.
So my second lesson is.
Wait, no, let me give a lesson.
Okay, go.
No, go ahead, because I got to gather myself. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Don't tell everybody your business. Use some discernment. I will just say, like, when I was younger, I'm that kind of person that like makes friends a lot and I just bring everybody. We already had this
Super
conversation.
friendly, yes.
Yeah, super friendly. And so I tended to think that those people were equally as trustworthy as I was being to them, basically. So sharing too much business too soon is always a mistake that I think a lot of younger people make because they think everybody's their friend and nobody's ever going to tell my business. But you don't take into account the fact that friendship breakups happen, people go separate ways, and this very, very deep, dark secret that you might have shared has potential to get out. So just use discernment and be careful about who you're sharing your
That's
business
good.
with. Yeah.
I have a friend who has a friend who's a terrible person.
Oh,
And she knows she's a terrible person.
okay.
And she is afraid to not be friends with her anymore because of the secrets that the friend
See,
knows.
it's like all your stuff is hostage. And if you piss this person off, there's
gonna be a
potential
terrible
that,
person to you.
yeah.
Yep. So don't be friends with terrible people. Moral of the story,
Moral
pick better friends.
of the story.
Pick
Okay?
better friends.
Absolutely. And then my last one is just to take care of your body, take care of your physical health, work out, eat well. I did a lot of that in my younger days. And so even though I'm not doing as well now, the fact that I'm not doing as well now isn't really
It's
taking
hurting
me.
me, not hurting
it's
you as
not
bad.
hurting me as much because I had kind of a jump start. So I'm, and it's easier to get back in the swing of things when you've been doing something for a long period of time.
That part. When I see
Yeah.
overweight, this year I said I'm not going to be afraid of being canceled. I'm just going to say things
Oh,
that I
shit.
feel.
What you about to
I'm
say?
not going to. It
Do I
made me
need to
think of
get
something else that I want to say, but I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
You don't need to get up. You can be
Okay.
involved in this.
All right.
When I see young nieces that are like obese,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, how is this the case,
Yeah.
little girl?
And it's getting worse.
It's getting much worse
Yeah.
because we're getting lazier as a society.
Yeah.
You can have friends on the internet, so you don't have to go out
Yeah.
and do anything. You can literally just like eat your life away in your home.
And we used to be in activities and stuff like
We
that.
used to, or just care because you had to go out. And
Yeah.
I think the internet has given comfort and solace to people who,
the body positivity
Yeah,
movement.
yeah,
And not
that
that it's a bad thing.
but there's toxic body positivity, I think.
I agree.
Let's stop that. And I'm not going to say what I want to say, but give yourselves a chance, nieces, is what I will say.
Yeah.
Because if you are already, and I'm not just talking about overweight, because as Black women, when we start looking at those scales, the doctor, whatever that doctor tell you, you're going to be
the
overweight.
BMI is off.
It's off.
for
We
us.
need our own scale. We
Yeah.
already know that. So I'm not talking about overweight based on that scale. I'm talking about actually obese.
Yeah.
If you do not give yourself an opportunity, especially if you desire to have children, which everybody doesn't, I get it. But if that is a desire, take it from somebody that done had two, that it sets you back. Okay? It sets
Yeah.
you back. If you are already like starting at a deficit, you're already starting in a body that you don't want to be in. Like, come
and
on.
it's just
Give yourself a chance.
and I'm not here to say how somebody feels about their body, right? But what I am here to say is that I think we do need to start having truthful conversations about weight. And what we do know is that being overweight puts you at risk for certain
Everything.
things. And that's just the truth. That's across the board. Just like being too thin puts you at risk
Yep.
for certain things. But I think we're allowed to say stuff about people that are too thin.
Yeah, but the other way.
But
it's-
the other way around, it doesn't really work that
Because
way.
skinny people don't have feelings. Only fat
Yeah.
people have feelings. Is fat politically incorrect?
I think the term is fat now.
Is it?
I-
It's
or-
just fat.
I think
Okay.
fat is fine because they have fat phobic. Fat phobic is a term. So
Mm.
fat, but either way, the moral of the story is what I was trying to say is
Take
take
better care
care
of
of yourself. Take care of
Yes.
your mental and physical health all the way around, whatever that looks like for you. Just make sure you're doing it and that you're happy in your body.
But I don't want to pretend that if you are 300 pounds, you could possibly be healthy. I think that is where society is getting the political correctness wrong. And how, this is the point of my question, how do we lovingly have those conversations?
I don't know.
Because I don't want to just call people fat, but
I don't know if you can have them with people who aren't in your immediate circle.
no, in your immediate circle.
Oh, okay.
How would you have that conversation?
So I would go to a friend and be like, "Hey, girl, let's get in the gym. Let's get back in the gym. We trying to get fine, And of course, there's fine people that are overweight. There's people that are overweight
get
that
out
are,
of our comments
are beautiful.
already. Okay, yes,
that's not what
we're
I'm trying to
saying.
say. What I'm trying to say is, that's how I would approach it. Like, girl, let's do a challenge or something like that. Or if that ain't hitting home, I got a couple of friends I know I could just be like, girl, what's going on? You all right? You gained a little weight there. You can kind of go there with them. But, most people you can't have that conversation with.
Yeah, people take it personally.
It's very sensitive.
That man on the 600-pound sisters,
and
doctor don't play no games.
But see, here's what I'm saying about this conversation. Then we end up there where someone is 600 pounds,
and then you want to have a
somebody
conversation.
should have been said to that
That's
person
what I'm saying, though. So
that you need to put down the waffles and the pancakes.
So let me just go ahead and say it. This is the cancellation comment. Let me just go ahead and say it. Because in my mind, again, my logical mind, if you are, we're talking extreme. We're talking 400 pounds. Okay, I've never seen 600 with my real eyeballs, but let's say 400.
Okay.
And you roll up into the McDonald's.
Why they gotta roll?
I wasn't even trying to be funny. That was Carmen. That was Auntie Carmen.
No,
I was not trying to tell a joke.
Okay, go ahead.
Walk up into the McDonald's, scoot into the, however they get into the McDonald's.
Okay.
I believe that the McDonald's should be able to say, it is not right for me to serve you this food.
You gonna get in trouble?
I am gonna get in trouble, but how can we?
But it's like being at the bar and you've had too much to drink, and they can turn you away.
Where do we stop this? Because you're literally killing yourself. At some point.
I don't think people have a right to deny people
not serve
food if they're overweight.
A Big Mac.
I want to make that very clear. I don't think that they have the right to do that. Okay.
No, they don't have the right, but they should.
I do think people in these individuals' intimate circle at some point should intervene, because to your point, we get to the point where we're at the 600 mark, the 500 mark, the 300 mark, and it's like, who's gonna? I feel like if you care about someone, then you should say something. Just like you would say something if you see that someone's depressed. Just like you would say something if you see that somebody is anorexic. If you see those things are things that should be addressed within your intimate circle. And it's for your betterment.
And there it is. Okay.
Whew.
Sorry,
girl,
y'all. I got off track.
I'm
sorry, I got off track.
That was rocky.
I got off track.
I got
Sorry.
scared.
Okay, so I have a couple lessons from my 20s. One of these I shared the other night. If you're not following us on Instagram at Dear Auntie Pod, make sure you do that. We need to go live more often because that was fun.
It was.
So one of the things that I feel like I learned the hard way, and I am trying to teach my real life nieces, is that everything does not have to make you money. If it makes you happy, it does not have to necessarily make you money. And our parents, at least mine, and their generation, I think, steered us in the direction of safety and security and money.
Yes.
Right? You don't go. I remember in college, I thought about changing my degree to, or my major to sociology. And the first thing my mom said was,
how you gonna get a job?
You ain't gonna make no money. What are you gonna do with sociology? Now, she was right. Let me not say that she was right. To be clear, she was right. That was a very valid question, and I thank you. But I'm sure I could have been creative. If I loved it, if I was passionate about it, I could have figured out a way to get paid from it. And that is my point. Yeah. So if you are an artist, if you are, a gamer, like there are so many examples of people who have done amazing things with like some simple shit that they were just passionate about.
Yeah, and if you are an entrepreneur at heart, which you are, then I feel like, to your point, you could make it do what it do.
Yeah, you can make it do what it do. Yeah. Anyway, my next lesson that I've learned, definitely the hard way, is, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what I wrote here. I put trust your gut, because that be knowing.
Hello,
she be knowing. When something tells you, you should listen, because there have been so many times, and I know y'all have been through things where you like, damn, something told me I should have went that way, or dang, something told me I should have picked up the phone, or something told me. Yeah. When something tells you, you gotta listen, because
and it
something
burns
is
in your
gut.
chest. Like, it's just right up in here, and you be knowing. You be like, wow, I knew that.
I knew. And when you knew better and you didn't do better, that's when it really comes back to bite you. So trust your gut and listen to it. Don't just trust it like, ooh, I heard you. But actually acknowowledge it and take action.
I be doing that sometimes.
You just be like,
I'll be
okay,
like,
girl.
Heard you, girl.
Whatever,
Back
girl.
on to his house.
See ya. Okay, and then lastly, nobody's coming to save you. Listen, that is just, it is what it is. Nobody's coming to save you. Not your mama, not your man, not your boss, not another opportunity. Like, create your own. Don't wait for anybody to bring it to you. And don't let anybody make a fool out of you twice. So somebody might tell you they got you. Somebody might tell you they're going to do something for you. And there are good people out there. It might work out. But if it doesn't, don't you dare let him have the opportunity to disappoint you a second time.
Agreed. I like that.
Whew, thanks.
You did that, girl.
We did that.
Hello.
So that was just random advice, but then we also have like
Real
some
advice.
questions. Yeah.
This is what you're here for.
This is what you're here for. It's finally time for dun, dun,
Dear
dun.
Auntie.
Dear Auntie.
We need some music there.
We do. We need a Dear Auntie jingle.
All right. You want to start?
Let's go. Okay, so Dear Auntie, I am a single mom of a little girl, and my baby daddy is a deadbeat. He would rather spend his time with his new girlfriend, now fiance, than see his child. I want to reach out to her and tell her that he is a no-good deadbeat. I really don't know what else to do. Do you think I should do it? I just don't understand why some men would rather chase women than take care of their kids. Your niece, Shayla. Shayla, I say reach out, girl. Facebook message, Instagram post, Messenger, pigeon, however you can smoke signal.
Oh.
Send sis a message because maybe she doesn't know. And if she does know and she's okay with it, you should confirm. You should triple, double check that she knows that the man she's about to marry is a deadbeat. And then if she just, decides to marry him, then that's just on her and he's going to be her deadbeat.
Interesting. Yeah, my question would be, does she even know that he has a child?
That part.
Because
You going to find out today.
men be hiding children. I don't know how they be hiding them in all these
families.
places, but they
Yes.
be hiding them. We just found out about Drake's child. When was it? 2 years ago? Because Pusha T told him he was hiding his kid
From the world.
from the world. So they be hiding them. So my first question would be, does she know? And if she does know that he has a child, she has to know that he's a deadbeat because she don't never see the child.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe they might be two deadbeats living together and coming together as one, and you're on the outside looking in, and now you're upset. But it is what it is, and that's why I keep telling y'all. That's why we keep telling y'all to stop having babies with these men who didn't put no ring on your finger. However, and we know that a ring doesn't always guarantee, but it at least gives you a little leg up.
And you got to go back to that gut.
A little
Because your
support
gut
system.
tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah. And so
So should she tell the lady or no? Because what if he's lying? What if the lady knows he has a kid, but he's lying like she won't let me see the baby?
I don't know. I just feel like what is going to happen what does she think that she's actually going to get out of this?
Well, in
Like,
their
what does she
relationship,
think
probably.
that the girl is going to actually do? Is she
Leave 'em.
going to be like, hey, mister, go see your baby? Like, is that what she about to do?
Yeah.
Like, because
Let's take care of
otherwise,
this
I just
child.
feel like you're just doing this because you're
You're
upset,
mad.
you're mad, and you want to get your rocks off on this.
Yeah. I think you should do it. So make up your own mind, girl. Let us know how it goes, Shayla.
All right, fellow aunties. Why are these new age women going half on anything with someone who is not their partner? Help the nieces, please, Auntie Tori. Well, Auntie Tori says she don't have no questions. She just want to ask a question on behalf
y'all.
of the nieces. And I ain't mad at you, Auntie Tori. That's what good aunties do. And that's a good question. But here's the thing. Here's the thing for me. I go back and forth on this topic a lot.
On the 50-50?
Yeah, I go back and forth on this topic. I don't think that a woman should go half with a man who is not her partner. That is completely out of the question. However, if you are a partner with this person and maybe he doesn't make enough money to support everyone in the family at the moment, I don't see anything wrong with going 50-50 on the bills. But to answer this particular question, someone who is not your partner, you shouldn't be going half on nothing. When he get his stuff together, he can come holler at you and take you on a nice date and everything like that. But otherwise, keep it moving, niece.
I agree.
Yeah.
The who is not your partner thing is
Yeah, that's
the hell
the
no for
that's
me.
the red
because
flag.
what are we doing? You just want me to help you pay your bills?
No, yeah, like what am I helping you do?
Because to me, the 50-50, I am not opposed. See, I don't want to say I'm not opposed to 50-50 because then somebody could
It
clip
gets
that
tricky.
and then it's a thing. So I don't want to say that. But I will say in a marriage, if you are nickel and diamond and counting, I feel like that is a recipe for disaster because
Yeah.
then that can get petty really quick to
Well,
me.
some women stay home. So I had made a post the other day about, reason why I don't subscribe to the man is the only one that brings in the bacon. Is because, for example, if your man loses your job, what are you going to do? What is the backup plan here? And some people commented, hey, well, you should have a certain amount already in your account, and blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, well, let's be realistic, though. It's 2023. How many people actually do have a year's worth of savings in their account? You know, that kind of thing. I mean, some of us do, but some of us definitely do not. So one girl in particular who follows me, I think she kind of got triggered because she's a stay-at-home mom. And, you know, I know she's been making posts recently about how she's independent, those kinds of things. Which,
girl, does she watch the show? Is she gonna see this?
Well, I don't know. She might.
Okay.
But, I mean, you know, about how she's independent, which, you know, she knows she's making a post, which is interesting to me because it's like, do you really feel, it kind of feels like, is that how people really feel, or is that how they think that they should feel because the man is supposed to be the provider? You understand what I'm saying?
What is she saying she feels like now? That she's independent?
Basically, she doesn't need to be independent because her man is the one who provides everything, right? And so she's making the argument that it's his responsibility, and if he loses his job, then he need to basically go find another job. You know what I mean? To keep the household flowing.
I think that's an unhealthy perspective, but that's just me and my household.
Yeah, and I don't agree with that either. I just feel like that puts so much, to me, it puts way more pressure on the man. We already complain about black men being so under pressure, girl, and angry.
And do you want him to spend any time with you? Is my question.
Do we want him to have?
Because I want mine at home sometimes.
Do we care about his level of
sanity
and his level of self-care?
No, we don't.
You know what
girl,
I mean?
Go get a job. Go get another job.
And
what do you mean? No.
So he has to have 5 or 6. And I'm not saying this is her particular case. I'm saying people that
I've heard that
think
before,
like
though.
this.
I've heard a lady on a podcast literally say, go get 10 jobs if you
Yeah,
have to.
yeah. And I'm just like, that's not nice. Do you really love him? Or is he just kind of like an ATM?
That part.
And
this is the other thing, too, in
family.
marriage, which is why I think that wives always have polar opposite opinions than the loud, you know, the loud opinions on most of the podcasts. Those are usually single people, not just women, but single people. Because in marriage, it takes so much compromise. And just like motherhood, pre-mom and pre-marriage, you have an idea of what it's going to be like.
Right.
You have already assigned all of these things you are not going to do, all of these things your kids will never do, the type of mama you're going to be, the type of wife you're going to be. And then you get into these real life situations.
Real life scenarios, not Facebook scenarios.
This ain't that. Okay, what you thought it was, the reality of it is not that. And so it takes compromise. It takes a level of, I'm going to play whatever position this season requires of me, not the position I signed up for, not the position that I said I want, not what I think a woman should do. I'm going to show up and put on the uniform and suit up and be whoever I need to be right now. If I need to be out getting the bacon in this season, then I'm going to do that. If I need to be at home with the babies in this season, then I'll do that. But it takes compromise.
But there are some women who actively seek men who make a lot of money so that they do not have to go out and work because they just want to live the soft life, which I say to you ladies, kudos to you. If that's what you want to do, go do it. I personally like to work. I personally like to achieve things. I like to achieve my goals.
And again, my love language is quality time.
And I like my own money.
I like my own money.
To be very clear.
And I actually like my man. Women who like that, y'all don't like y'all man. Y'all don't like y'all man because if you want your man to go get 10 jobs to take care of you and you don't have one, that means that you don't care about spending any time with him. You don't care about his mental health. You don't care about his well-being. You care about yourself, which means you don't care about that man. He shouldn't be a man. So.
Oh, damn. Alrighty, moving right along.
Did that help Auntie Tori? Did that get him together?
We don't know and we don't care.
We don't know. I hope so, Auntie. Okay, dear Auntie, my ex reaches out to me occasionally to check in and say hello. It's never anything inappropriate, but I feel weird communicating with him now that I'm married. Do you think I'm doing anything wrong? I'm not interested in him at all. What do y'all think? Your niece, Mallory.
We both said the same thing at the same time.
So, again, all of my answers, I like to talk about things I've actually been through in an honest way.
Okay.
I have not had a relationship during social media days, right?
Okay.
In the sense of, like, I've had a relationship, we've broken up, and now, that has not happened Auntie was
Okay.
single for a long time, okay? Auntie was single before she got married. Single. So I don't have this situation where there's an ex that I follow or an ex that follows me that I know of, strangers, whatever, but not that I know of. I do think that I would personally feel weird. I would just feel like I was, not that I'm cheating, but I would feel like my husband probably wouldn't.
Like in the back of your head.
In the back of my head, I feel like I'm
you
doing something
know.
wrong because I'm not going home to report back to my husband that I've just been communicating with my ex. And if I'm not comfortable enough to have that conversation, then I probably am doing something I shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
And if you feel some type of way enough to write into these strangers, Mallory, then I'm just willing to bet that you probably feel some type of way too.
And I mean, I can't really think of any of my exes that I feel like would be reaching out without some sort of feeling behind it. You know what I mean? Like, I could have a conversation with a couple of my exes with absolutely no feeling behind it, but I don't know if they would feel the same way. Not to say that I'm just this great.
Girl, you're
the
irresistible,
greatest,
girl.
where they just go be reaching out to me and they just still in love with me. That's not what I'm saying. But I just feel like that would be the energy behind
There's
it.
something behind this.
Yeah.
Because why are you reaching out?
Because why are you reaching out? And like we said earlier, men go after what they want. So if he's texting you for a reason.
Yeah.
So Mallory, I think you know the answer deep down in your spirit that maybe you should just either tell him, hey, I'm in a relationship now. I'm not really comfortable with this, and I know my man ain't gonna be, so let's kind of dead it. If he doesn't listen, block his ass.
Girl, ghost.
and
I
keep
will.
it moving.
Girl, Casper, the friendly co, all day
Yeah,
long.
because what do y'all really need to talk about?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
You're
so-
dead to me. Someone I used to know. And if that is not helpful, ask your husband. See what he thinks.
Ooh, now that shit could get real at that
I
point.
mean, girl, this husband's supposed to be your husband for the rest of forever. Y'all have a conversation, talk about it. Those are all of our Dear Auntie
Gosh,
questions.
we are so helpful.
I think we are
I love that
helpful.
about us.
That was helpful.
Yeah.
Hold on. Was that not helpful? Did we help Mallory? Did we help her?
I mean, yeah, she's totally helped.
I think it's wrong. If you just want a period answer, I think it's wrong.
Okay.
Because your husband won't like it.
There you go.
There you go, Mallory.
The end. I think we've come to the end of the show.
We've come to the end, guys.
I don't want it to
Sadly
end.
enough.
Until next time.
Until next time. But listen, if you write us a question, we will give you some real good advice.
Yeah, we will.
So, dearauntipod@gmail.com. Dear Auntie Pod on Instagram
Yes.
is where you can find us. Come hang out. If you have not tuned in to all of the amazing episodes of Dear Auntie Pod, make sure you go back and hit the replay. Subscribe on YouTube. We are now on Grown Woman TV. I forgot to mention. Make sure you tune in, tap in, subscribe, and support all of the shows that are on the network.
Yes.
GrownWomanTV.com is where you can find us, and we will see y'all on the next episode.
Bye.